started with the reveal and first look at Crash 4. Enjoy it.
Here we go. Let's see what all this Crash Bandicoot stuff's all about. I hope it plays like the remake did. My remaster.
Hey guys, it's Jeff Keighley. Welcome to Summer Game Fest. We've got a great show kicking off this week for you. I'm really excited to be doing yet another week of video game announcements. And one of the things...
Oh my god.
Sound outside.
I've got an extra special package
I used to love the old style adverts for this.
Jeef. Geo Fef Keglegs.
Jeef.
I'm just messing with you. Jeff Keighley, come on out.
He's wearing a mask.
Again. I'm in the middle of a live stream right now. This guy always crashing my important shows. I'm gonna see what this is, but let me tell you, it better be worth it. Crash, I really don't want the dirt that you have on Cortex.
No.
Why not?
This is the Crash 4 trailer.
For real?
For reals.
Well, it's about time.
Hype.
Exactly.
Crash Bandicoot, you banished me to the past. But all it did was give me more time to plan your doom.
Oh, yes. Oh, what a tune as well. His head seems a bit far up his body. I'm not sure what I like, whether I like the look. Oh, he's not bad. Oh wow. There's that mask. Wow. Seems classic Crash, I like it. Oh dear. Oh, we get to play as Neo Cortex as well. And Coco. They're all back. Oh, that looks sick. Wall running. Changing it up a bit, I like it. Wumping. October the 2nd.
How many times have you beaten this?
What else comes out
anyway?
October the 2nd?
3. Really? Only 3?
The animation
Seems
looks
like more.
very different to what it normally does.
That's right. There's the.
I feel like it's the same day as Star
Crash
Wars. This will be
4,
interesting.
a
That'd be a good day.
brand new Crash game. It is coming this October.
Do we get gameplay, like
and
proper
right
gameplay
now,
show?
I am joined by Paul from Toys for Bob to
Oh,
tell
he's got
us
the mask
about
behind him.
the brand new Crash game. Paul, we have been waiting for so long for something new from Crash. Of course, Activision has done some amazing remasters of the Crash trilogy and CTR.
It looks good, you know.
But this is a
Looks very classic
brand
Crash.
new Crash game.
I'm just not sure about the
built from
look,
the
but I
ground
feel like I'll get used to it.
That's right. It's hard to believe, but it's been over 10 years since we've seen an original new entry into the series. So I'm delighted to finally unveil this.
We all knew it
secret
was
that we've
coming
been
as soon
sitting on
as-
for a while.
As soon as the
Crash
the
4 is about
Insane
time.
trilogy did
That's
really well.
It's a play on the fact that we've been waiting for so long, but also it's a game that's literally about time.
So he's switching
I wanna get into
characters
it
like
'cause the trailer
midway.
is filled with so much information. I mean, playable Neo Cortex, Coco, Crash, but I'm curious, like, what you guys had worked on, the remasters of Crash, but now to start with a new game, I'm sure so much trepidation about like what's going to be a worthy, follow on, calling it Crash 4. How did you guys approach this? Like, what kind of game did you want to build?
Yeah, I guess the first thing is we asked ourselves, where did we want to start? And though technically this is the 8th game in this series,
Wow.
all of the fan
Where's
reception
Crash
that was
Bash
coming out of
remaster?
the Insane
Hey,
trilogy,
we need that.
we wanted
Do
to
it,
go
you can't.
back to the original trilogy and start from that. We're deliberately calling this Crash 4 because we want to key it off of the original trilogy that was developed.
Fucking
by
off the
Naughty
rest of the
Dog.
games,
And it
basically.
was certainly a high point in the series, both critically and commercially. And so that's where the events are going to key off of. We're starting right at the end of that when Dr. Neocortex, Entropy, and Uku Uku have been banished to this distant planet, and
Sick.
they finally found a way after many fruitless attempts, they found a way to break out, and in doing so, they've torn this gigantic hole in the universe and
I like
exposed
that.
the fact
It's
that
a cool
there's
idea.
multiverse.
It's a cool way of bringing it back.
So it's going to be up to the Bandicoots, Crash, and Coco to restore that order by reuniting the 4 great quantum masks.
The gameplay style, I think, a lot of people were probably wondering, hey, Crash in 2020, how much of it is, the more linear, classic Crash levels, and of course now, like, people wonder, like, is it an open world Crash game? How are you doing it? Like, tell us about balancing kind of the old style of gameplay, which
Seems
is
very
certainly
old
not
style, to
broken.
be
We
honest.
love it, versus the tendency to do, new styles of gameplay. Based on the trailer, it looks like you're being kind of still faithful to the original style of Crash versus making it some big,
I prefer that,
the open world. But
'cause it
is
worked
that
within
correct?
the same
Like, how did you
trilogy and it
approach
felt
the actual style of the game.
modern then.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I think what we've heard was that people have found that style of gameplay to be really refreshing to
Yeah.
return to, and so we wanted to key off of that. And when we observe some of the other games and platformers and how they've evolved over time, you're totally right. They've gone to a place where they're a little bit more open in nature, and as a consequence, the challenges and things that you
Yeah.
interact with are a little bit more sparse and spread out.
Because
and
everything's
encourages
gone open.
exploration, and maybe there's a little bit more focus
There's less of
on
these types of games, and I miss
collection
these types of
and
games, so
combat.
I'm all for this.
But when we think about classic Crash gameplay, it's dense and it's focused, and it's really the streams of hazards and the challenges, the platforming challenges, they come and there's almost a rhythmic quality to it and how reliable it is. And I know that for me, when I learn a level and I understand the nuance of the timing and the placement of all the different hazards, you
I
can
want that
enter
mask
into
that's behind me now.
a sort of flow state when you understand that
Need
kind
that on
of
my shelf.
musicality.
Multiple playable characters.
You may be able to see
How
my
are you
little
doing that?
Crash.
Is it kind of like by level, or how, like we saw Coco and
There you
Neo
go.
playable in there? How does that work, sort of in the scheme of
Just
the
put my finger.
gameplay?
So Crash and Coco, you're going to be able to choose between them at any point in time, and they share
Okay.
the same moveset. Over the course of the adventure, you're going to encounter some new friends.
Why is it every
some
time they
new
show
faces.
gameplay, they're not very good?
And you're right. There's going to be some new playable characters. We're teasing today Dr. Neo Cortex. He's got a completely
Hype.
different moveset from Crash and Coco. So where the Bandicoots kind of barrel through and they've got the ability to spin and slide and belly slam, Dr. Neo Cortex is he's a little bit more of a cerebral character. He's a mad scientist. He's got inventions and he relies on his
I love
intellect.
Neocortex.
So he's got a ray gun that he carries around with him. And that ray gun has the ability to transmogrify hazards and enemies into platforms. And he can choose between changing them into
That's
a
pretty cool.
static solid platform or a bouncy platform that gives him access to higher elevations. So his gameplay and the levels that are built specifically for his moveset is going to be a completely different flavor. It's going to be a little bit more strategic, a little bit more cerebral, and I think players are going to have to be a little bit more thoughtful about when to encounter a hazard, whether or not to change it into a platform, and what type of platform they're going to need at that point in the obstacle.
Wow, it seems ambitious that you're adding more elements to it, and then also you
I can't wait
mentioned
for this.
the masks. How do those work?
So the quantum masks, there's 4 of them in this game, and over the course of the adventure, they're scattered across the universe. You're going to have to rescue them from the clutches of certain bosses, both familiar and new.
Cool.
The quantum mask, 2 of them that we're talking about today, is the time mask and the gravity mask.
Makes sense
And
with the name of the
masks,
game.
In this franchise, they've got a lot of personality. They've got their own names and their own voices and their own powers. So the time mask, her name is Kapunawa. And when Crash uses Kapunawa, he's got the ability to slow down time to a crawl. So
Good.
for
That's
obstacles that are beyond,
That'll be pretty handy in some
just
bits.
way too fast to interface with at normal speeds, he's going to be
Mm-hmm.
able to slow things down and then get past those obstacles. And in addition to that, he'll be able to get past nitro crates, which have traditionally been a one-hit, one-kill type of thing. But with the power of time, he's going to be able to slow things down, trigger that explosive, and then get out just barely before that explosion
That's
obliterates
cool.
everything in its path. The second mask is the gravity mask, and his name is Ika Ika. So when Crash dons on Ika
Ika
Ika,
Ika.
he's going to be able to flip the direction of gravity and walk on the top of ceilings, walk upside down
That's pretty
underneath
cool.
platforms to get past impossible obstacles.
I'm really excited to play this, and again, I was playing Crash back when the original PlayStation first came out, and you know, Activision's done a great job with the remasters, but to have a totally new game, I think, is what everyone was hoping for, and you're bringing it to life. So, congrats for doing this, and thanks for doing it even from a work from home situation. It's awesome to see, and can't wait to get to play it later this year.
Yeah, man, I'm hyped.
Thanks for having me. It's a great pleasure, and I think it's an exciting time for games, and I'm so glad
Really
that we
is.
could.
I'm liking this year, like having
Crash,
E3 spread
a
out.
new version, and a new
A
adventure.
lot more events.
At
And
this
Crash
time.
wouldn't have got this kind of like
All right, there you have it. Crash
Spotlight
4. We've
without
got
that.
Day of the Devs coming up shortly, but right now
I'm happy,
we're going
I'm
to
hyped.
introduce you to Summer
bring on more
Game
Crash
Press
Bandicoot. Now
tech
remake
correspondent
Crash
who
Bash,
is
you
joining us.
cowards. If you like that video and want to see more like it, then click this playlist button here. If you happen to want to subscribe to us and check out all our content, then click this amazing sexy button right here. Look how enticing it is. You know you want to click it. And if you're already subscribed to us, well then you are already an awesome human being.